Today we will discuss about chromatic polynomials. Now this chromatic polynomial was first introduced by Birkhoff. To attack or solve four-color conjecture. Now, what is this four-color conjecture? It is any graph. In fact, it has to be a planar graph. The edges have to intersect only at the vertices. Is four colorable, that is, you can use four colors to paint the vertices of a planar graph. That is called as the four color conjecture. And this chromatic polynomial was introduced by Birkhoff to solve the four color conjecture. What is this chromatic polynomial? Okay, this concept is this concept considers the number of ways of coloring a graph with given number of colors. Okay, so in this case the number of ways of coloring a graph with given number of colors can be evaluated using a chromatic polynomial. So for this, let me formally introduce the notation. Let G be a labeled graph. Okay, or G be a simple graph. Okay. A coloring of G from lambda colors is a coloring of G using lambda or fewer colors. And now you say that two colorings are different. Two colorings of G from lambda colors are different if at least one of the labeled vertices is assigned different colors. We denote f of G comma lambda as the number of different colorings of graph using lambda colors from lambda colors. Okay, so the different type of coloring can be evaluated using the chromatic polynomial. Okay, now let me take a simpler example and see what could be the enumeration of the different colors for this graph P3. Okay, this will be A, B, C. Okay, A, B and C. This is called as P3, a path on 3 vertices. Path on 3 vertices. Okay, suppose I wish to use 3 colors to paint P3. Okay, so what will be the number of different colorings? Okay, so now what I have to do is I have to collect the total number of different colorings of the graph P3. So for that, what I do is I take the vertices here, A, second one will be B, and the third one is C. Okay, so now what I do is I will color blue, green, red. Okay, this is the first type. Second condition would be I will fix this blue and I will interchange the colors green and red. Okay, the third combination would be green, blue, red. Okay, fourth one would be green, red and blue. Similarly, I can paint the first vertex with red, then blue, green. The sixth one would be red, green, blue. Okay, so this case I have 6 cases wherein the vertices are colored with different colors for any one of the vertex. Now you can see the definition here. Okay, that is a coloring of G using lambda or fewer colors which do not violate the proper coloring. Okay, so now here I have used all the 3 colors. Now my 7th one would be blue, green, blue. Okay, so it does not violate the coloring. 8th one would be blue, red, blue. Okay, similarly 9th one would be green, blue, green. 10th one is green, red, green. 11th one would be red, green, red, and the 12th one would be red, blue, and red. Okay, so I have a total of 12. Okay, I cannot color the path P3 using 2 colors. Using less than 2 colors. So in this case, if I have to use the 3 colors to paint a path P3, I have 12 different combinations or 12 different type of coloring for path P3. Okay, using 3 colors. So this is the different type of colorings that we do. Okay, so now our aim in this lecture is to find different or to find total number of different colorings of a graph G, of a general graph G. So that will be the aim of this particular lecture. Before solving problems on finding the total number of distinct colorings of the graph G, okay, now we will calculate the chromatic polynomial of certain standard graphs. Now you have to remember these results in order to find the chromatic polynomial of a general graph G. Okay, suppose if I take a complete graph Kn, if I want to color the complete graph with lambda colors, then the chromatic polynomial would be lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2, so on, lambda minus n plus 1. Okay, now I will prove this. The proof is very simple. Okay, the first vertex, okay, the first vertex in Kn can be colored in lambda different ways. I can assign any one of the colors to the first vertex. Okay, the second vertex of Kn can be colored in lambda minus 1 or using lambda minus 1 different colors. Okay, I can use any color other than the color that is being allotted to the first vertex. So in this case, when I continue this, proceeding for the other vertices, the nth vertex will have lambda minus n plus 1 different colors. Therefore chromatic polynomial of Kn is f of Kn comma lambda. This would be lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2, so on, lambda minus n plus 1. So this will be the formula that you have to remember. See, I'll just take an example here. Okay, suppose if I have K3, okay, this will be K3, complete graph on 3 vertices, and I wish to color the vertices using 4 colors. Lambda is equal to 4 colors. Then f of K3 comma 4 would be 4, here n is equal to 3, so I'll have 4, okay, n minus lambda plus 1 would be 4 minus 3 plus 1, which would be 2. So I'll have 4 into 3 into 2, 6 into 4, 24 combinations. Okay, I'll call the vertices as A, B, C. Let me write the different combinations. You can see here A, this one would be B, and then I have the third one C. Okay, so now I want to have 24 combinations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, and this one will be 12. Okay, suppose I will use blue, green, red, yellow. Okay, blue, green, red, blue, red, green, and then green, blue, red, green, red, blue, red, blue, green, red, green, blue. Now I'll take blue, green, yellow, blue, yellow, green, green, blue, yellow, green, yellow, blue. Okay, the next one would be blue, green, yellow, blue, yellow, green. Okay, then the next one would be green, yellow, blue, green, blue, yellow. Okay, so now what I have done here is I have given 14 colorings, but I have to show that it has got 24 different colorings. Let me list out the other combinations, different colorings. So what do you have here? I have taken, for the first few I have taken till this. Okay, till this I have chosen red, blue and green. Here the first 6 gives you red, blue, green. But here I have 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know what I have missed here. So now I have taken blue, green, yellow. Okay, blue, green, yellow, blue. Okay, sorry, I think I have repeated this again. Blue, green, yellow, blue, yellow, green. It gets repeated here. So let me write this here. Green, yellow, blue, green, blue, yellow. Okay, so now I have only 12. Okay, I have only 12 combinations. Okay, so now what I have to do is I have to list out the remaining entries. Okay, so this contains blue, green, yellow. Okay, red, blue. So now what I will do is I will take red, green, yellow, red, green, yellow, red, yellow, green, green, red, yellow, green, yellow, red, then yellow, red, green, yellow, green, red. Okay, so now this combination had yellow, green, red, green, yellow. Okay, so now I'll have 4 ways. So I can select what is the remaining part. Blue, green, yellow is out. Red, green, blue. Okay, so I'll write like this: R, B, G, R, G, Y. Okay, R, G, Y, B, G Y, and then next one would be R G Y. Okay, R G Y. Now what is the one that is missing here? Green. Okay, four ways. Okay, 4C3, I'll have 4 ways. So what is the missing one here? Red, blue, green, red, blue, yellow. Yeah, next one is red, blue, yellow. RGY. Sorry, RGY I have written. RBG is written here. RGY is also written here. The next one is BGY. Okay, next one would be blue, red, yellow. Okay, blue, red, yellow, blue, yellow, red, red, blue, yellow, red, yellow, blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, blue, red. Okay, so here I get 24 different colorings here. Okay, so this one uses blue, yellow, red and yellow. So I get, for a complete graph on 3 vertices, if I want to color it using 4 colors, then I use this formula. So I have lambda into lambda minus 1, lambda minus 2, so on, lambda minus n plus 1. Okay, so that will be the chromatic polynomial for a complete graph. As I told you, you have to remember this. Now, similar to this, you have another result, and of course you should also remember the result here. Suppose if I take G is a tree, okay, with n vertices, okay, and you also assume n is greater than or equal to 2. Then the number of colors in different colorings in the tree G using lambda colors would be lambda into lambda minus 1 whole power n minus 1. I'll give the proof of this. The proof would be result is proved using induction on the vertices. Induction on the vertices. Okay. Suppose n is equal to 2. Okay. I'll have K2 because this is a tree. And here if I take this, A will have lambda options and B will have lambda minus 1 options. Okay, so this will be the possible case. So f of K2 comma lambda would be lambda into lambda minus 1, and I can write this as 2 minus 1, and the result is true when n is equal to 2. Okay, now as per the induction hypothesis, what we do is, by the induction hypothesis, we assume the result is true. We assume the result is true for n less than or equal to k. Now consider a tree with n vertices. I'll take like this. Assume that the result is true. Instead of n less than or equal to k, you write like this: when number of vertices is less than n. Okay, so because this is less than n, now what you do is you take a tree with n vertices. Okay, and this is a result in a tree. There is at least 2 vertices with degree 1. Okay, you will have 2 vertices with degree 1. Let u be one such vertex. Okay, u be one such vertex. Now consider the tree G minus u. What is this tree G minus u? From the tree T, you remove the vertex u from it, and that will be your tree G minus u. And here I have taken that this is a tree with n vertices. Okay, so now what do you have? Number of vertices in G minus u is n minus 1. By induction hypothesis, okay, f of g1 comma lambda. Okay, what is this g1 here? I'll take like this: g1 would be g minus u. This would be lambda into lambda minus 1 whole power n minus 1 minus 1, which will be lambda into lambda minus 1 whole power lambda n minus 2. So this will be lambda into lambda minus 1 whole power n minus 2. I will have different such colorings here. Okay, and now I have removed u. Let v be the vertex adjacent to u. Okay, because u is of degree 1, you will have only one vertex, which will be v. And now the vertex u can be colored. Okay, now what I do is I take the vertex u, it can be colored with any color different from the one painted on v, because you should have a proper coloring. U and v are adjacent, so I should have a different color other than the one that has been painted on v. So this implies we have lambda minus 1 possibilities to paint u. So the different colorings for G using lambda colors would be lambda into lambda minus 1 whole power n minus 2 into lambda minus 1, which would be lambda into lambda minus 1 whole power n minus 1. So by induction hypothesis, you were able to prove that the chromatic polynomial of a tree is lambda into lambda minus 1 whole power n minus 1. And now if you look at this example, okay, you take a tree is equal to your path P3. Tree G is equal to path P3. And here I will be using lambda is equal to 3. So f of P3 comma 3 would be 3 into 3 minus 1 whole power 3 minus 1, which which will be 3 into 2 squared, which will be 12. And already you can see that we had 12 different types of coloring when I used 3 colors to paint a path P3. Okay, so this path P3, when I used 3 different colors, I get 12 different combinations. And you can check that the formula that we have proved here, namely for any tree, lambda into lambda minus 1 whole power n minus 1, when I apply it, I have that there are 12 different combinations for 12 different combinations for a path P3 to be painted with 3 colors. Okay, so the proof of this theorem gets completed here. Now I will be moving to the method to find the chromatic polynomial of a general graph. For that, you have to understand fusing of a vertex. What is meant by fusing of a vertex? Suppose if I take a graph G like this, and I call these vertices as A, B, C and D. Okay, so now in this I fuse vertices B and D. Okay, when I fuse the vertices B and D, so I'll have B and D. Okay, I put this D on B and I'll have C. So you can see that A is adjacent to B, B is adjacent to C. Okay, B is adjacent to C, and at the same time B is adjacent to D is adjacent to A, and D is also adjacent to C. Now I make this graph simple by omitting the multiple edges and the loops if I have any. So this will be A. I will call this fused vertex as some B dash C, and this will be a new graph G dash. Okay, G dash is obtained from G by fusing B and D in graph G. Okay, so this is a point that you have to remember, what is meant by fusing of two vertices in a graph. What I do is I take a vertex and put it on the other vertex, and I maintain the adjacency relations as such. And if I don't get a simple graph, or if I get a multiple edges, I omit the multiple edges and take a single edge in it, thereby converting it into a simple graph. So that will be the fusion of the two vertices in a graph G. And this is same as one of the operations that we know, removing a vertex or removing an edge. Okay, so this fusion of a vertex has to be remembered. Okay, and using this I will state a particular theorem. The proof I will not be giving here. Okay, the proof I will not be giving here, and I will use that theorem to find the chromatic polynomial of any general graph. Okay, so now what I do is I take like this: if U and V are non-adjacent vertices, if U and V are non-adjacent vertices, in a graph G, and HG, okay, denotes the elementary homomorphism of G, which identifies U and V. Okay, now what will happen here? HG is obtained. What is that? HG is obtained from G by fusing vertices U and V. Okay, so here the technical word is given, elementary homomorphism. You need not worry about it, but this is just the fusing of these two vertices U and V. Okay, fusing of these two vertices U and V, and the graph obtained is called as the graph HG. Okay, then this will be important f of G comma lambda. This will be f of G plus UV comma lambda plus f of HG plus lambda. Okay, you have to remember this important formula. Okay, so now the chromatic polynomial of the graph G would be chromatic polynomial of G plus UV if you have two non-adjacent vertices in G along with the graph that is obtained by fusing the vertices U and V. So it's chromatic polynomial. So you have to find the sum of these two to get the chromatic polynomial of the graph G, and you have to continue this process till you know the chromatic polynomial of certain standard graphs. So it will get reduced to it. So from that you can find out the chromatic polynomial of the given graph G. Okay, and here this statement, you have to remember this statement number one, and then you have to remember the chromatic polynomial of a complete graph on n vertices, lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2, so on, lambda minus n plus 1, and then you should know the chromatic polynomial of a tree, which will be lambda into lambda minus 1 whole power n minus 1, where n is the cardinality of vertices in T. So you have to remember at least these three to find the chromatic polynomial of any general graph. So using the above theorem, we will find the chromatic polynomial of, okay, I will take this graph A, B, C, D. Okay, this is usually called as K4 minus E. So what I do is I remove a particular edge, okay, any one of the edge in K4, and that will be called as K4 minus E. So now what I have to do is I have to calculate the chromatic polynomial of graph K4 minus E. Now what we do here is, you can see that B and D are non-adjacent. Okay, so now what I do is, your graph A, B, C, D. Okay, it gets, what I will do is it gets divided into two. Let us say like this, according to this theorem. I'll have A, B, C, D, and AB is there. Okay, now what I have to do is, I will have A, I will have B comma D here, and I will have C. AC is also here. Now I will join the non-adjacent vertices B and D. Here B is adjacent to C and D is also adjacent to C. B is adjacent to A and D is also adjacent to A. I make the graph to be simple. So I will have A, B dash, C. I call this B comma B, D as some other vertex, label it as B dash. Now this has got a chromatic polynomial lambda into lambda minus 1. This is a complete graph. So I will have lambda minus n plus 1, 4 minus 3 plus 1. 4 minus 3 plus 1 would be lambda minus 2. Again, this is a complete graph on 3 vertices. Its chromatic polynomial would be lambda into lambda minus 1. Lambda minus 3 plus 1. So this will be lambda into, okay, so now what will be the term? Lambda minus n plus 1. Lambda minus 4 plus 1. This will give you lambda minus 3 here. And for this, 3 minus 3 plus 2 will give you lambda minus 1. So I will have lambda minus 2. So the chromatic polynomial for the given graph G would be sum of these two, lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 into lambda minus 3 plus lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2. So I take lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 as a common factor. This would give you lambda minus 3 plus 1. This is same as lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 the whole square. So when I further simplify this, this would be lambda squared minus lambda. Okay, this would be lambda squared minus 4 lambda plus 4. Okay, plus 4. So this would be lambda power 4 minus 4 lambda cube plus 4 lambda squared minus lambda cube plus 4 lambda squared minus 4 lambda. This would give you lambda power 4 minus 5 lambda cube plus 8 lambda squared minus 4 lambda. So this would be the chromatic polynomial, and for different values of lambda you can find the different colorings. Now you have to note here, okay, any chromatic polynomial is independent of the constant term or does not have a constant term. Does not have a constant term. Okay, this will be first note. Second note would be coefficient of lambda power n minus 1 is negative of number of edges in graph G. You could see here I have minus 5. So the number of edges in the graph G is 5. So these two things, still you have lots and lots of properties that you can discuss here. So these two are important properties which I stated. It is independent of the constants. This is number 1. And number 2 is the coefficient of lambda power n minus 1 is negative of the number of edges of the graph G. So this is the process of finding out the chromatic polynomial for any general graph G. Now I will solve another problem that will be little bit difficult than the one that we have solved here. Find the chromatic polynomial of chromatic polynomial of the graph here that is given here. This has got lots and lots of non-adjacent vertices, so A, B, C, D and E. So now what we do here is I'll start with the solution like this. A, so now I have this A, B, C, this one is D, this one is E. Join these two. This is the graph G. Now what I do is, again I draw this A, B, C, D, E. Join this BD, join this CE. Now what I do is I make these two B and D, which were non-adjacent in G, I make it adjacent here, plus. So again I have to fuse these two. So I'll have A, I'll have B comma E, what I call it as B dash, then I have C, then I have D, and B dash will be adjacent to D. So here this will be your graph, this will be your graph obtained by fusing the vertices B and E in G. And now I don't know the chromatic polynomial of these two graphs. So what I do is I have to again use the same operation for this graph, first graph in the sum, and as well as use the theorem for the second graph in the sum. I will call this graph as G1 and this graph as G2. Now I will take graph G1 here. G1. Now I have like this A, B, C, D, E. This gets divided into again two graphs here. Let me use the same thing. A, B, C, D, E, A. This is there, this is here, this is also in G. So I have A, B, C, D, E. Now this gets, I join A with C, plus, now what I do is I fuse A and C, call it as A dash, B, I will have D, I will have E, A dash will be adjacent to E, B will be adjacent to E, and here C is adjacent to D, so naturally I will have this. Now this gets reduced to K4. This gets reduced to K4. So I know the chromatic polynomial of K4, so I will not have any problem. I need not extend this result, but whereas here I have to extend it for this. So let me again repeat here. Now what I have done is, here I have seen that B and E are non-adjacent. I make B and E as adjacent, and then I fuse the vertices B and E, and I get like this BC. So here AC is not adjacent here, so I will not have this. So this is the graph. So for this graph G1, for this graph G1 I have this. Now this again gets divided into 2. Now what I have to do is, I will have like this. This will be A, B, C, D, E. So now I know AB has got an edge, BD has got an edge, CE has got an edge, AC has got an edge. But now in the previous stage A and D does not have an edge. I join A and D. So this gets reduced to K phi, complete graph on K vertices, plus, okay. Now what will happen to this? Now I have joined A and D, so I will have another vertex, say A dash. B is adjacent to this, B is adjacent to C, A is adjacent to C. Now I joined A dash and D, so now I will have E here. E will be adjacent to this, B is also adjacent to E, this will be K4. So f of G1 comma lambda is nothing but f of K phi comma lambda plus 2 times f of K4 comma lambda. Okay, so now you can see here f of G1 comma lambda would be f of K phi comma lambda plus 2 times f of K4 comma lambda. Here I have 2 K4s, so the chromatic sum of the chromatic polynomials of K4 along with the chromatic polynomial of K phi will give you the chromatic polynomial of f of G1 comma lambda. Now I have the second part. The second part is G2. Now I will find the chromatic polynomial of G2. Okay, so now in this case you have to see here I have fused B and E. So naturally B I get like this. Let me draw this graph here again. G2. Okay, what will be your G2? I will have A, I will have B. Okay, C, D. Okay, I join C and D. C, D. Now you can see that B is adjacent to D. Okay, B is adjacent to D. So here what I do is I take the same graph A, B, C, D. Okay, now here A and C are non-adjacent. I join A and C. Okay, plus now I will have the graph like this. This would be B, this would be C dash, this would be D. Now this is same as A comma C. B is adjacent to D, so this gets reduced to K3. Okay, so now I have to use the theorem and find the chromatic polynomial of the graph which is in the first term of the sum. So here I will have A, B, C, D. You can see that A is adjacent to C, B is adjacent to D, and here BD is AD is not adjacent. I make AD as adjacent here, plus now what I do is I have D dash, which is nothing but fusion of A and D. I will have B here, I will have C here, and this will be this. So f of G2 comma lambda would be f of K4 comma lambda plus 2 times f of K3 comma lambda. So I have the chromatic polynomial for G2, graph G2, and now I have the chromatic polynomial of of f of g1 here. Okay, so now what I have to do is I have to just add these two. So from this, chromatic polynomial of g comma lambda is nothing but chromatic polynomial of g1 comma lambda plus chromatic polynomial of g2 comma lambda. Now what is g1 comma lambda? F of k phi plus 2 times f of k4 comma lambda. Okay, see, you can see here 2 times f of k4 comma lambda. And for g2 you have f of k4 comma lambda plus 2 times f of k3 plus lambda. Okay, so this would give you plus f of k4 comma lambda plus 2 times f of k3 comma lambda, and this gives you f of k5 comma lambda plus 3 times f of k4 comma lambda plus 2 times f of k3 comma lambda. Okay, so this would give you lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 into lambda minus 3 into lambda minus 4 plus 3 times lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 into lambda minus 3 plus 2 times lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2, because you know that f of kn comma lambda has got a chromatic polynomial lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 into lambda minus n plus 1. Here when I substitute n is equal to 5, I have lambda minus 5 plus 1, which would be lambda minus 4. So I will have lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 4 till lambda minus 4. Similarly, when I substitute n is equal to 4, the last term in the chromatic polynomial, last term in the product of the chromatic polynomial of k4 would be lambda minus 3. And similarly for the chromatic polynomial of k3 comma lambda, the last term in the product would be minus 3 plus 1. So I will have lambda minus 2. So when I simplify this, okay, in fact you can also simplify like this. I can take lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 as a common factor. This would give you lambda squared minus 7 lambda plus 12 plus 3 lambda minus 9. Okay, and this would give you plus 2. So this gives you lambda into lambda squared minus 3 lambda plus 2, and this would be lambda squared minus 4 lambda plus 14 minus 9 would become 5. So this would be lambda into lambda squared, let me write this, minus 3 lambda plus 2 into, this would be lambda squared minus 4 lambda plus 5. Okay, when I still reduce it, this would be lambda cube minus 3 lambda squared plus 2 lambda into lambda squared minus 4 lambda plus 5. So this would give you lambda power 5 minus 3 lambda power 4 plus 2 lambda cube minus 4 lambda power 4 minus of minus plus 12 lambda cube, okay, minus 8 lambda. I have plus 5 lambda cube. Okay, I think have I done it right? Lambda power 5 minus 3 lambda power 4 plus 2 lambda cube minus 4 lambda power 4 plus 12 lambda cube plus 12 lambda cube minus 8 lambda squared plus 5 lambda cube minus 15 lambda square, okay, plus 10 lambda. So that gets simplified to lambda power 5 minus 7 lambda power 4 plus 14 plus 5 19 lambda cube minus 23 lambda squared plus 10 lambda. Okay, this would be the chromatic polynomial of the given graph G. Okay, now let us check this. You can see that it does not contain any constants. Here the number of edges in the graph G should be 7. Now let us check this. Okay, for the graph G here, okay, this will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Because these two things coincide, you can conclude, okay, but that is just only a feeling that we have done it is right, okay, but we don't know what would be the coefficient of lambda cube or lambda squared. I have not checked it, but still here the number of edges in the graph is 7. So this is the chromatic polynomial of the given graph G. So this completes this particular problem. As said earlier, all this was possible because of this particular theorem. You have to understand how to find the chromatic polynomial of a general graph G using the process of fusion, and here you have to just use it. Okay, you have to use it so that you get the required chromatic polynomial, and you have to use this as an iteration process. See here, till you know the chromatic polynomial of certain standard graphs. Okay, it might reduce to a complete graph or a path. Okay, if it can also reduce to a tree, and for tree you know that the chromatic polynomial is lambda into lambda minus 1, and using that you can find the chromatic polynomial of that particular graph, in turn which will contribute to the chromatic polynomial of the given graph G. So this completes this particular problem. If you have any doubts in the topics that we have covered, you can put it in the WhatsApp group. I will answer this. Anyhow, we will have another session of solving these problems in a live class that will follow tomorrow. Thank you.